Piggybacking off of my last video, I touched on it briefly that I changed my major, and if you haven't watched it, um, for real, what are you doing, bro? But on a serious note, I want to explore and unpack this decision in my life, as it's a very common thing in college, but often feels like a difficult one for one reason or another. See, my father's a carpenter, and so is my grandfather and my aunts and uncles. Anything with the trades they got their hands on. Naturally, I had the expectation I'll do the same, but you know, my mother's a first generation graduate, so she was not playing about getting an education and especially a bachelor's degree. But that didn't stop me from trying to follow my father's steps. I picked up some skills from working over the summer with him as a kid, and as I grew up, I eventually went to engineering magnet school. I was fed these high expectations that engineering was the natural stepping stone of what my family had cultivated, and it gave me a sense of pride. In my head, I was thinking, maybe I'll be the first to take us to the next level. I had my sights on mechanical engineering at first. I thought cars were cool, and maybe I'll make the first flying car or some shit. But that was a dud. I went back to the drawing board and thought about civil engineering, the literal direct evolution of my father's work, just with even more complex problems. Can't front, I remember this dream dying in vivid details. I was at Kumo, of all places, trying to be better at math, because surprise, surprise, the person that switched from engineering to business realized he wasn't good at math till college. What happened was, I got an answer wrong, and my tutor, without breaking a sweat, said, if you messed up your calculations on the job, the bridge you're building is going to kill people. And I'm sorry, I love being as blunt as the next guy, but I was like 13 and a fetus trying to learn, how to be better at algebra. What the fuck? It really wasn't until high school I settled on the specialization of engineering I wanted to do. It was biomed, the toughest concentration. You see, my mom drilled it in my head that the medical industry is always looking for work. You can never go wrong. So in my head, I was hitting the fusion dance, putting together my parents' industries together. Which wasn't a bad idea, but as I said in the last video, I got humbled. Bad. That first semester was some shit. It was cool flaunted the, I'm a chemical engineer with a concentration of biomedical, and hearing people gas would be in that motherfucking feeling like this in my gen ed class.
Say it again, Dexter.
But history repeated itself. I failed Calc 1 and Chemistry 1. In fact, I have a funny story about Chem 1. We had online modules, and I was desperately trying to get my grade up, so I was redoing this one module for hours. So peep, my roommate was a student athlete, and he left the dorm around 12. I'm still working on the module. He returns and still sees me hunched over my laptop like a chud, trying to answer the exact decimal for the calculations. He leaves me be and returns after a lift and is like, brother, you good? I'm like, yeah man, this assignment just kicking my ass, I'm straight. He leaves again and is hanging out with his friends, grabbing dinner. He comes back, I'm still in the same spot. He asks, bro, you still working on that problem? I explained to him I'm a couple decimals off. I had been redoing the assignment for a perfect score. He lets me rock and hops on the game. From the corner of his eye, he sees me on the floor, staring at the ceiling, defeated. I was losing my mind freshman year, and sophomore simply confirmed it, but I was too stubborn, and not in a good way. My mentor peeped that I struggled with math and clocked it early, recommending me change my major, but I was not going for that because I had the ego of, I went to engineering school, I'm going to graduate in engineering. But that tunnel vision just hurt me. And honestly, I believe I was so sold on this idea of being an engineer because I planned it for my junior year of high school and was not willing to budge. Obviously, every situation is nuanced, and if you really want something, you'll endure 100 times over for it. But for me, I realized I couldn't in good conscience keep on running against the wall for the comfort of certainty. A certainty that I knew for a fact I didn't love besides the wealth that came from it. It broke me having to admit this dream, and by virtue being the first engineer in my family, is not going to happen, but it just made sense. In that time in my life, the lesson I had to learn was to pivot and adjust, something I couldn't readily do unless it was beyond my control. Unlike other circumstances where I was forced to adapt, to change, it was liberating to be in control of my destiny. And there was a sense of relief acknowledging that every class I went into, I was at a disadvantage because I'm not in a position or occupation that was playing into my strengths. And from there, it became so much clearer. My father has this quote that I think about a lot, especially when I was changing my major. You have to do something you love. When you're doing something you love, you'll put your all into it. Despite the growing pains and even losing the prestige to flex a hard major, I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be.